Hi friends, I Narasimha Rao Erramnini. Today we are discussing important topic in chemistry, that is environmental chemistry. Okay, in previous video already we discussed what are the types of spheres present in this environment. What are the types of spheres present in this environment? Okay, all types of spheres are discussed in previous video. Now in this video we are discussing about what are the pollutants present in troposphere and stratosphere. What are the pollutants present in this troposphere and stratosphere? How they affect the human beings and how they are produced, how they are entering into this environment. All these are discussed in this video. Okay, first of all, let's be discussing about the what is atmosphere. Before going to that pollutant, just I give some introduction about the atmosphere. Okay, here the protective blanket of gases surrounding the earth is called atmosphere. The picture of atmosphere is like this. For example, this is considered as earth. The surface of earth is surrounded by air blanket. That air blanket acts as a protective layer. It protects the human beings. Due to the presence of that air blanket, the earth temperature increased up to 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. Actually, the universe creator, the main aim of universal creator to kept this air blanket around this earth is to maintain proper temperature for human beings, for other living organisms. Without this air blanket, already I told in the last year, the earth temperature is less than 0 degrees centigrade. That temperature is not suitable for the survival of any living organisms, not only human beings. Any living organisms is very difficult to survive at that temperature. Okay, to insert this air blanket, the temperature is reached up to 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. That is the major role of this air blanket, and also this air is for the main source for the survival of the human being. So, like this, so that is the importance of air, this air blanket. This air blanket is called atmosphere. This atmosphere can be classified into different types based on their height. Here there are 4 types of spheres are there. One is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and next one is high level is the remaining space is called exosphere. Okay, here there is one line is present here. This line is called Kármán line. This Kármán line is acts as a boundary between this atmosphere and remaining space of that universe is called Kármán line. Okay, here let's be discussing about the tropospheric pollutants. What are the tropospheric pollutants? Here, this is occurred due to the presence of undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air. Undesirable solid or gaseous particles present in the air. Already I told you yesterday in last video what is pollutants, contaminants are considered as a pollutants. So pollutant means already it is derived, present in the nature, produced by the nature, but the concentration is increased by the human activities. That type of substances are called pollutants. Contaminants means they are not produced by the nature. They are newly synthesized compounds by the human beings in the chemical laboratory for their convenient life. That substances in other aspect damages the environment. That type of substances are called contaminants. Okay, so finally the definition of tropospheric pollutants are this pollution is occurred due to the undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air. Okay, here there are 2 types of pollutants are there. One is gaseous air pollutants and another one is particulate pollutants. Pollutants are 2 types. There are gaseous pollutants and second one is particulate pollutants. Particulate pollutants means they have a little bit of size, solid particles. That solid particles may cause the pollution in this troposphere, then it is called tropospheric pollutant. Okay, and another one is gaseous pollutant. Gaseous molecule acts as a pollutants. For example, CO2 gas, SO2, NO2 gas. That type of gases may harmful to the human being or environment, then it is considered as a gaseous pollutant. Okay, this tropospheric pollution is occurred due to the presence of undesirable products. these products are classified into two types. They are gaseous pollutants. First one is gaseous pollutants. Second one is particulate pollutants. Gaseous pollutants exist in solid state, gaseous state, and particulate pollutants are nothing but solid particles, minute solid particles. Okay, let's be discussing about the how they are enter into environment, how they are produced, how they affect the human beings. All these are discussed in this video. Okay, here first of all we discussing about the gaseous air pollutants. Gaseous air pollutants. Here the gaseous air pollutants are, first one is oxides of sulfur. Oxides of sulfur. There are two types of oxides are there. One is sulfur dioxide, another one is sulfur trioxide, SO2 and SO3. Actually, these are sulfur is present in the some living organisms like animals bodies and plant bodies. When combustion of that fossil fuels, combustion of that bodies waste material, even after death of the human body is also burning, and after cut the stream of the plant or tree also burn, okay, for production of the air like that. During this process, burning of fossil fuels, simply we call burning of fossil fuels, the sulfur present, if the sulfur is present in that bodies of fossil fuels, it react with oxygen to form SO2, like this. So here S plus O2, this S sulfur is present in the this fuels. Okay, these fuels, when burning of these fuels, in case of petrol, diesel also, that compounds also contain some amount of sulfur and nitrogen. Actually, in distillation purification of that petrol, the sulfur compounds are removed. But in some companies, that process requires some expensive process. It is some expensive process. For economical purpose benefits, they do not treat the proper treatment to that petrol. That's why some residues are remains in that petrol or diesel. When combustion of that fuels or in plant material or combustion of the animal bodies like that, sulfur residue react with oxygen to form SO2. Like this, SO2 is entered into this environment. Similarly, that SO2 again react with another oxygen molecule to give sulfur trioxide. Like this, SO2 and SO3 are enter into environment. SO2 and SO3 are enter into the environment like this. Okay. Here, let's be discussing about what are the effects of this SO2 and SO3 present in this environment. Actually, these compounds are also causes the acid rain. Okay, and moreover, when in our respiratory system, it means inhalation and exhalation, the sulfur SO2 and SO3 also present in this air. If that SO2 and SO3 are enter into our body through this respiratory process, it causes some respiratory problems like that respiratory problems are asthma, emphysema and bronchitis, etc. These are the diseases caused due to the enter of this SO2 and SO3 to our body. Okay, so majorly these are causing the respiratory problems. Okay, lung infections like that. All these diseases belongs to the lungs. Finally, simply we can say these SO2 and SO3 molecules are causes the lungs damage of human beings and animals like that. Okay, so this is about the oxides of sulfur, and moreover this oxides of sulfur also causes the acid rain. Okay, and next one is oxides of nitrogen. So nitrogen is also one of the component in animal bodies and plant body. When that bodies are fuels also like petrol, diesel also produced from the decomposition of the bodies, animal bodies and from living organism bodies. Okay, so during this process, during the combustion of that all nitrogen containing substances, simply we can say fuels, combustion of fuels, if that fuel contain nitrogen as a residue, when burning process that nitrogen react with oxygen to form nitrogen monoxide. Then that nitrogen monoxide again react with another molecule of oxygen to give nitrogen dioxide. Okay, like these nitrogen dioxides and monoxides are also formed. Sometimes this nitrogen monoxide goes to the stratosphere. In that sphere ozone layer is present. It reacts with that ozone layer to form nitrogen dioxide. It also damages the ozone layer. Like this. So the effects of these nitrogen oxides, like this nitrogen oxides are enter into the environment. Let's be discussing about the effects of oxides of nitrogen or nitrogen oxides. Here it causes the damage of the leaves of plants and decreases the rate of the photosynthesis. Mainly the photosynthesis process is the major process. During this process the food is prepared by the plants. That food is served to the all animals like human beings and other animals. Okay, so plants is the major source of the food for the all living organisms. Okay, so that food is produced by this photosynthesis process. This nitrogen monoxides and dioxides are decrease the rate of photosynthesis in the plants. That is the major disadvantage of this nitrogen monoxide and dioxide. And next thing is it damages the textile fibers and metals. These nitrogen monoxide and dioxides damages the textile fibers and metals. Metals may undergo corrosion in presence of that NO2 and NO. Okay, why? Because they are acidic natures. In presence of acidic medium, the rate of corrosion is more. That's why it damages the textile fibers and metals. And next one is NO2 is a lung irritant that can lead to an acute respiratory disease in children. So when children, this nitrogen monoxide dioxide enter into children's body, it damages the lungs of that children. Okay, so these are the major disadvantages of nitrogen oxides. Okay, and another one is it is very toxic to living tissues also. Toxic means poisonous. Okay, and next one is hydrocarbons. Here, these are produced by the incomplete combustion of fuels used in automobiles. Okay, like this, these are entered into the environment. These are majorly affected like this. These are carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means toxic, poisonous, and causes the cancer. Incomplete combustion of the fuels. So the major effect of this hydrocarbon is, hydrocarbons means carbon and hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen is called hydrocarbon. Carbon hydrogen containing compounds are called hydrocarbons. These are produced incomplete combustion of the fuels used in automobile. These are causes the cancers. Okay, and they harm plants by causing the breakdown of tissues. Okay, these hydrocarbons causes the breakdown of tissues of plants and trees like this. So these are the major effects of hydrocarbons. Okay, and next one is oxides of carbon. There are two major oxides are there. One is carbon monoxide, that is CO. Another one is carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Carbon monoxide, and second one is carbon dioxide. Okay, first of all we are discussing about the carbon monoxide. Here it is produced by the incomplete combustion of the fuel. Here it means incomplete combustion of fuel means actually during the combustion process CO2 gas is released, but partial oxidation of hydrocarbons due to the insufficient oxygen. They are undergo partial oxidation. During the partial oxidation of that fuels burned in these automobiles produce the carbon monoxide. That's why the government of India or government of Andhra Pradesh, like CBN minister, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, always insist to grow the plantation process. Okay, if insufficient oxygen is, it means the oxygen availability is less in that burning process, the hydrocarbons are converted to CO instead of CO2. Instead of CO2, they produce carbon monoxide. That carbon monoxide is a severe pollutant to the human beings and atmosphere. Why? Because it forms the stable complex with hemoglobin. Stable complex with hemoglobin. If it means actually hemoglobin combined with majorly used to transportation of O2 and CO2 in human beings and some animals. Okay, during this process, all hemoglobin particles are locked by this carbon monoxide. It means when once that hemoglobin combined with carbon monoxide, it forms hemoglobin, carboxyhemoglobin. It forms carboxyhemoglobin. It is 300 times more stable than hemoglobin oxygen complex. Hemoglobin and oxygen complex. That's why all hemoglobin is arrested or held by carbon monoxide. That's why it finally it leads to the death of human being or loss of life. This is the major disadvantage of carbon monoxides, that carbon monoxides are produced only due to the lack of insufficient oxygen in the air. Insufficient amount of oxygen in air. That leads to the formation of carbon monoxide instead of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is not a dangerous compound. It is one type of pollutant, but it is not severe effect. Due to the carbon dioxide causes the it affects the global warming. It causes the global warming or acid rain. That is the two disadvantages of carbon dioxide. But carbon monoxide is a very dangerous substance. It is produced only due to the lack or insufficient amount of oxygen during the burning process. Okay, like that. Finally, these effects are: it blocks the delivery of oxygen to the organs and tissues due to the ability to form stable complex with hemoglobin, resulting this headache, weak eyesight, and nervousness, and cardiovascular disorders, and finally it leads to the death. These are the major disadvantages of carbon monoxide. Okay, and next one is carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is produced due to the burning of fuels used in automobiles, or burning of hydrocarbons, burning of waste plant materials like this. It is only produced due to the burning of hydrocarbons. All hydrocarbons are converted to carbon dioxide during the burning process. Okay, petrol, diesel, LPG gas, all these are made up with hydrocarbons. Nothing but the composition of all these are hydrocarbons. Okay, waste plant materials like that. So, and sometimes during the respiratory system also, from human beings and animals, CO2 gas is also produced like this. Here, it is present in the troposphere only. It is mainly present in troposphere only. Actual volume of this CO2 is 0.03% of volume by volume of atmosphere. But nowadays this percentage is increased day by day due to the globalization, industrialization like this. Okay, but CO2 concentration is increased day by day due to the industrialization, transportation, combustion of waste products like this. All these are the causes to increase the percentage of CO2 in the atmosphere. Okay, let's be discussing about the effects of CO2. Effects of increase the concentration of CO2. Actually, CO2 is present in the environment. This universe creator also kept some amount of CO2 in this troposphere. But the concentration of CO2 is increased day by day due to the human activities like industrialization, globalization, transportation, burning of waste product like this. So that increased CO2 causes the causes the global warming. The major disadvantage of CO2 is global warming, and second one is causes the acid rain. Acid rain like this. Okay, that is the major disadvantage of carbon dioxide. Okay, what is global warming? Global warming means nothing but it is a phenomena of increase the temperature of earth surface. Increasing the temperature of earth surface is called global warming. Increase the temperature of earth surface are called global warming. Okay, this global warming causes due to the presence of all gases molecules present in the air. Like this, first one is the carbon dioxide, second one is chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons means CF2, Cl2, and water vapors. Water vapors also contains H2O, and oxides of sulfur like SO2 and SO3, and oxides of nitrogen, nitrogen monoxides, nitrogen dioxides, and methane CH4 molecule, and ammonia molecules, NH3 molecule. Like this, all these gases present in the air, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxides, all these gases are responsible for this global warming. Okay, like this. The effects of global warming is melting of the polar ice caps. Melting of polar ice caps. It means decrease the amount of ice in Himalayas like this. Okay, and floodings of low-lying areas of all over the earth. It causes the floods. Means causes of the floods, and increase in the dengue, malaria, yellow fever, sleeping sickness like this. All these diseases also caused due to the global warming. Global warming means increase the temperature of earth surface. That earth surface, if the temperature of earth surface is increased, the following diseases may occur to the human beings, that is dengue, malaria, yellow fever, sleeping sickness, and groundwater level is also decreased. Groundwater level is also decreased, and moreover, if you observe in summer, the temperature of earth is increased. Due to the increase the temperature of earth, some small organisms like birds and small plants are also damaged. That may lead to loss of their life. Okay, the following factors are major disadvantages of the global warming. Okay, so let's be discussing about the acid rain. Generally, acid rain is causes due to the oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, carbon like that, like SO2, CO2, NO2 like this. All these oxides of nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur causes the acid rain. Here, the pH of acid rain is less than 5.6. Actual pH of acid rain is greater than 5.6 to 7, between the 5.6 to 7. That water molecules present in that rain react with CO2, SO2, NO2 gases present in this atmosphere before reach the surface of earth. They are form some acidic compounds like H2CO3, H2SO4, HNO3 like that. So due to the presence of that compounds, the pH of acid rain is decreased to less than 5.6. Less than 5.6. That is the pH of acid rain is less than 5.6. Okay, here this H2O react with, it means generally rains comes from the sky by the melting of clouds like this. Here before reach the surface of earth, the CO2 molecules present in this environment, SO2 molecules and NO2 molecules. Here the pH is greater than 5.6 to 7. Here the pH is 5.6 to 7 before reacting the CO2 and NO2 and SO2 molecules. After reacting the CO2, SO2, NO2 molecules before reach the surface of earth, in this environment, this is called atmosphere. So in this atmosphere, to increase the concentration of CO2, NO2 and SO2, that molecules react with water molecules, H2O molecules present in this rain to form some acidic compounds like this. H2O react with CO2 to form H2CO3. H2CO3. This is called carbonic acid. Similarly, SO2 react with H2O to form H2SO4. That is called sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. And next one is NO2 react with this water molecules present in this rain to give HNO3. Like this, that H2SO4 and HNO3 and H2CO3. All these compounds are responsible for the decreased pH of less than 5.6. Why? Because all these are the strong acids. Strong acids. Okay. Like this, the pH of rain is decreased to less than 5.6. The decreasing rate depends upon the concentration of CO2 and SO2, NO2 gases. CO2, SO2 and NO2 gases. Okay, like that. So let's be discussing about the effects of acid rain. Effects of acid rain. Okay, here it damages the historical buildings. Historical buildings means in Telugu it is called Charitratmaka Kattadalu. It means our ancient people built that buildings. Okay, that type of buildings. That type of buildings undergo damage. The best example of historical building in our India is like Taj Mahal. Okay, that is made up of white stone. Okay, so that white stones change their color due to the increase in the concentration of CO2, SO2 gases. It is present in Delhi, Agra. Okay, so that building undergo damage. It means the color of that Taj Mahal is decreased day by day due to the increase the pollution. Okay, due to the industrialization, like the transportation. So the first disadvantage of acid rain is damages of historical buildings, and the second one is decrease the productivity of agriculture and aquaculture. Aquaculture means production of cultivation of fish ponds, cultivation of prawns like that. That productivity, it means yield, final yield of product depending upon the pH of water. pH of water. If the pH of water is less than 5.6, is not convenient for the survival of growth of that fish and prawns. If the acid rain is fall in that pond, the productivity of fish and prawn is decreased. The yield is decreased. Yield is decreased. So it damages the, and also similarly agriculture. In agriculture sector also acid rain decreases the productivity of the soil, plants, crop. Productivity of the crop. The yield of the crop is decreased in agriculture sector. So finally it damages the aquaculture as well as agriculture. Both systems, acid rain causes the major effect. And next one, the decreases the fertility of the soil. Fertility, and next one is contaminate the drinking water. Contaminate the drinking water. Generally, the drinking water is stored in reservoirs. If the acid rain fall in that reservoir, the pH of that water is changed. That is not suitable for the drinking. If that water is drink by the human being, if the human being is drink that water, it damages the health of the human being. The drinking water pH is greater than 5.6. If the less than 5.6 water is drunk by any human being, that he may got some health problems like this. So these are the major disadvantages of acid rain. First one is damages of historical buildings like Taj Mahal, and another one is decrease the productivity of agriculture and aquaculture, and third one is fertility of soil is also decreased, and quality of drinking water is also decreased or contaminate the drinking water. Like this, these are the major effects of the acid rain. Okay, and next one is particulate pollutant. Till now we are discussing about the air pollutants, gaseous pollutants. Let's be discussing about the particulate pollutants. These particulate pollutants are nothing but these are minute solid particles or liquid droplets in air. Liquid droplets in air or minute solid particles present in this air called particulate pollutants. Okay, these are present in heavical emissions. These particulate pollutants are present in the heavical emissions or smoke particles from the fire and dust particles or ash from the industries and bacteria, fungi, algae. All these are also considered as a particulate pollutants. But these are classified into two types. One is viable and second one is non-viable. These fungi, bacteria, algae, some other living organisms present in this air are considered as a viable particulate pollutants. Viable particulate pollutants means they can move automatically themselves. But these dust, smoke or other particles, ash-like particles are considered as a non-viable particles. They do not move automatically by themselves. They need some force to move from the one place to another place. That type of particles are called non-viable particulate pollutants, and second one is viable particulate pollutants. These microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, algae, nowadays COVID-19 virus, coronavirus, all these are considered as a viable particulate pollutants like this. Okay, and let's be discussing about the some non-viable particulate pollutants. That means first one is smoke. Okay, smoke, fog, like this, all these are considered as a non-viable particulate pollutants. Okay, let's be discussing about the smoke. Okay, generally smoke is it consisting of the solid or mixture of solid and liquid particles. Smoke consists of solid or liquid particles. Okay, it is produced during the combustion of the organic substances like cigarette smoking, and second one is burning of fuels and burning of garbage and burning of dry leaves. All these are the causes the production of smoke. Okay, so during this process, hydrocarbons are converted to carbon dioxide, and along with that carbon dioxide, some ash particles are mixed with that carbon dioxide to form a smoke and water vapor. During that process, the hydrogens are converted to H2O and carbon is converted to carbon dioxide. Okay, when burning of the general formula of hydrocarbons is CnH2n plus 2. It combined with n number of O2 molecules. It converted to all carbon atoms are converted to CO2 molecules. All hydrogen atoms are converted to H2O molecules. Like this. Along with these two CO2 and H2O, some ash particles are also mixed. That entire composition is called smoke. It is obtained when burning of cigarettes and garbage and dry leaves and fuels, like this. So like this smoke is produced, enter into environment. This is about the smoke. And next one is dust. Okay, dust consisting of it contains fine solid particles. Okay, it is produced during the grinding of solid materials. Crushing and grinding in some crushers, like that. Okay, examples: crushers, wood timbers, pulverization of coal process, cement industries, like this. All these are the responsible for the production of dust particles. Okay, like this. These are the particulate pollutants. All these are responsible for the global warming and lung infections, like that. And next one is mist. It is produced by the particles of spray liquids and by the condensation of the vapors in air. It is the best examples of sulfuric acid mist and herbicides and insecticides mist. When we spray the insecticides in agriculture field, they miss the target, they enter into environment and also causes some health problems. Okay. So all these are the examples of the mist. Mist is a mixture of spray liquids and condensation of the vapors in air. Okay, like this. And next one is fumes. Okay, it is generally obtained by the formation of vapors during the sublimation, distillation, boiling. Sublimation, distillation, boiling. Sublimation means solids directly converted to gas. During that process, the fumes are evaluated. Similarly, distillation. This is one type of separation of liquid mixtures. And third one is boiling. Boiling means liquids are converted to gas. During these processes, the fumes are produced. That fumes causes the environmental pollution. Okay, like that. Similarly, these are generally produced from the organic solvents, metals and metal oxides, etc. Okay, the major sources of fumes are organic solvents. Organic solvents and boiling of organic solvents and distillation of organic solvents, like that, these are produced. Okay, similarly, smoke. The word smoke is derived from the smoke and fog. Smoke and fog, derived from the smoke and fog. Okay, there are two types of smokes are there. One is classical smoke, another one is photochemical smoke. The word smoke is derived from the smoke plus fog. These are two types. One is photochemical smoke, second one is classical smoke. Okay, here let's be discussing about the classical smoke. This classical smoke is a mixture of smoke plus fog and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid means H2SO4. The mixture of smoke means CO2. Fog means water vapors. Water vapors. CO2, H2O and H2SO4 combination. The mixture of CO2, H2O, H2SO4 or smoke, fog and H2SO4 is called classical smoke. It is formed in cool, humid climate. Cool, humid climate. It is observed. It is generally formed in depending upon the temperature also. Okay, and it acts as a reducing agent. The chemically it acts as a reducing agent. These 3 points are very very important. In some objective questions, what is the chemical nature of classical smoke? Reducing agent or oxidizing agent or neutral agent, all of the above. So it acts as a reducing agent. What are the components of classical smoke? Smoke, fog and sulfuric acid. Okay, it is observed in cool, humid climate. Okay, and next one is photochemical smoke. Okay, it occurs in warm and dry, sunny climates. Both are opposite to each other. Both are opposite. The classical smoke is formed in cool, humid climate. This photochemical smoke is formed in dry, warm and sunny climate. Okay, the main components are unsaturated hydrocarbons. The main components are unsaturated hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides and pan, ozone. These are the major components. What are the components present in this photochemical smoke? Means hydrocarbons. Pan means peroxyacetyl nitrate. Peroxyacetyl nitrate and nitrogen oxides and ozone, O3, NO2, like this. All these are the components present in this photochemical smoke. The chemical activity of chemical nature of this photochemical smoke is acts as a oxidizing agent. Acts as a oxidizing agent. Okay, here this photochemical smoke affect the human beings. The major effects of this photochemical smoke is eye irritation. This peroxyacetyl nitrate and ozone causes the eye irritation. Okay, and second one is nose infection, and third one is dryness of the throat, and headache, chest pain, and cough and breathing problems. All these are the responsible by the photochemical smoke. The main components present in the photochemical smoke is pan, ozone, unsaturated hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides. The chemical nature of this photochemical smoke is it acts as an oxidizing agent. It is responsible for all these diseases. Okay, like this. This is about the photochemical smoke. Pan means peroxyacetyl nitrate. Peroxyacetyl nitrate. It is the powerful irritant. And nose infection. Okay, like this. let's be discussing about the stratospheric pollutants. Stratospheric pollution. Generally, stratosphere is present above the troposphere from the 10 kilometers to 60 kilometers of length from the sea level. Okay, here this sphere, the main in this sphere pollution is caused due to the chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons means CF2Cl2. Chlorofluorocarbons means CF2Cl2. So here this causes the depletion of ozone layer. Depletion means formation of hole in that ozone. Ozone is present at this stratosphere. Ozone layer present at stratosphere. That ozone layer protect the human beings, all living organisms present in this earth from the powerful ultraviolet radiations. It filters that powerful ultraviolet radiations comes from the sun. So that ozone layer acts as a protective blanket. Okay, if that ozone layer undergo damage due to this chlorofluorocarbons, CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, these are called freon gases used in these are contaminants. The best example of contaminant is chlorofluorocarbon. Already in previous video I told you. Okay, this contaminant fluorochlorocarbon is responsible for the ozone depletion. If the ozone depletion causes so many problems. Okay, let's be discussing about them. The main effects of this ozone depletion is, before going to discussing this ozone depletion, just I give what are the reactions takes place during this ozone depletion. Means here this chlorofluorocarbons CF2Cl2 molecule undergo homolytic fission. CF2Cl2 means the linear structure of CF2Cl2 is like this. Here the bond between the carbon and chlorine undergo homolytic fission to form carbon radical and chlorine radical. Carbon radical and chlorine radical like this. That radicals, the chlorine radical react with ozone. The chlorine radical react with ozone like O3. Ozone, formula of ozone is O3. So it forms ClO plus O2. That ClO again react with another molecule of ozone to form Cl radical plus 2O2. The Cl radical is again regenerated. It combined with another ozone molecule, it converted to oxygen. Like this, all ozone molecules are converted to O2 molecules. Like this, the ozone layer is formed. One molecule of, you remember this point, one molecule of chlorofluorocarbons damages or react with 1 lakh molecules of O3 molecules. 1 lakh O3 molecules, ozone molecules. You remember this point. It means one molecule of chlorofluorocarbons react with 1 lakh ozone molecules, they convert to oxygen molecules. So that is the major disadvantage of these chlorofluorocarbons. These are synthesized by the human beings for their better convenient living. Like these are used in refrigerators and air conditioners. These gases are used in refrigerators and air conditioners. Okay, sometimes that cylinder, due to the leakage of cylinder present in the refrigerator and air conditioner, that gases are enter into environment and directly goes to the stratosphere, damages the ozone layer. Due to the damage of ozone layer, the following effects are occurred. That is, the first depletion of ozone layer observed in South Pole of Antarctica. In 1980s. Okay, here the more UV radiations are enter into troposphere due to the damage of depletion of this ozone layer, formation of hole in ozone layer or depletion of ozone layer causes the more UV radiation enter into the troposphere. If the more UV ultraviolet radiations are enter into the this troposphere, causes these radiations leads to the aging of skin and cataract, sunburn and skin cancers, killing of many phytoplanktons and damages of fish productivity, etc. The major disadvantage of this ultraviolet radiation is aging of skin and skin cancer. Skin cancer. These are the major problems due to the enter of ultraviolet radiations. Enter of ultraviolet radiation to this troposphere. Okay, and these are the major effects. This is about the pollutants, particulate pollutants and gaseous air pollutants in atmosphere. Okay, thank you. Yours Erramneni Narasimharao.